Welcome back to another episode of the Not So Fake. Yes. I've made my peace with you guys. You guys are welcome here now. I kind of enjoy it. Whatever, can't get rid of you. Don't even know where you come from, but who cares? Anyway, I'm your host, James Brindle. This is another episode of the Not So Fake newscast. Another beautiful day in October. You know, it's fall. Things are dying, falling off trees, right? I love it. It's beautiful. Anyway, we have two juicy articles again for you tonight. Article number 1 is, elderly woman of 71 years old is the suspect getaway driver for a burglary gang out of the UK. I don't know much about burglary gangs in the UK. Just kidding. We've all seen that Guy Ritchie film. Love that shit. But I do know something about grandmas. My grandma raised me for most of my life. Kind of ish. You know, like, don't think I had some bad childhood, nothing like that. But I've had some very great stories with my fucking grandmother. I've had weird dreams about my grandmother. Even recently, like, her fucking falling off a cliff while we're mourning her at a funeral. It was the weirdest thing in the world. But anyway, let's get on to this article, and here we go, baby. Let's get it. Authorities in the UK have arrested a 71-year-old bed and breakfast owner suspected of ferrying a gang of young criminals across the country to carry out aggravated burglaries. Grandma of the year, I'm telling you, bad grandma. The female pensioner was arrested this week along with her younger associates as part of an investigation in a daylight break-in at a home in Mullingar, County Westmeath. Last month's burglary happened about 2 p.m. on Saturday, September 19th, when a number of people broke into a private home in the Ballinia area. The raiders then searched through the property and stole a number of personal items before taking the keys to the homeowner's car and then driving off. Woo, go grandma. On Thursday, detectives carried out several searches in Midlands town after identifying a number of suspects. It's understood authorities also seized items linked to the investigation that will now be examined. The Irish Independent has learned that one of those who was in guarded custody was a 71-year-old woman who owns a bed and breakfast in the Midlands town. Detectives suspect the pensioner was involved in driving two younger associates to and from the scenes of last month's aggravated burglary. They are also now investigating whether she played a similar role in any previous crimes carried out by the pair. The two men, aged 25 and 45, it doesn't sound like a kid to me, are also from the same Midlands town as their alleged pensioner accomplice and are well known to local police. An unnamed source says, quote-unquote, these two lads are more known for their drug offenses, but it's suspect that from time to time they carry out burglaries and robberies. It's a strange dynamic. It's not very often that you see different generations involved in such atrocities and crimes. Well, despite what this woman did, you have to love your grandma. I mean, she made the person that made you, right? Am I right? We're all here because of a ma or a grandma or something like that, and the chain goes on and on. Anyway, speaking of going on and on, our next article involves the Proud Boys, and I don't want to do a politically charged segment, but we're gonna do this. Our next article Our next article is, gay men have taken over the Proud Boys Twitter hashtag. Yes, we've all heard of this. Incense me saying, and on we go. But I had to cover this one because I think this one's fucking fantastic. I'm gonna get a lot of hates for this one, I'm sure. But you know what? Let's just try not to hate. We're close to Thanksgiving. Let's just be thankful for me giving you this news article in a satirical fashion. So, let's get to it. The Proud Boys hashtag, which members of the far-right group have been using, was trending Sunday after gay men and women on Twitter hijacked it and flooded the feed with photos of their loved ones and families and memes. My God, and I'm gonna do the same thing. The Proud Boys recently made headlines by celebrating President Trump's reply at last week's debate, when he was asked to condemn white supremacists. The president instead used his allotted time to blame what he called Antifa and the left for violence and to tell the Proud Boys to stand back, but stand by. Now just know this, I don't usually cover politically charged topics like this, but man, this is a doozy. But now, the gay men and women of Twitter are making the group's hashtag known for entirely different reasons. Matt Deshane, one of the men who pitched with photos of himself and his husband in efforts to overtake the hashtag, said this goal was simply to spread joy. Deshane goes on to say, seeing the hashtag is so uplifting. It feels like the movement for positive change is gathering momentum all the time. I'm so glad to be a part of it. By coming together, the world could be much better. But Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, says he doesn't see what the men are trying to accomplish. He goes on to say, "Man, I think it's hysterical. This ain't something that's offensive to us. It ain't an insult. We ain't homophobic. We don't care who people sleep with. Man, this don't bother us not one bit, man. Tell you what. One of the messages they're trying to send is that they're trying to drown out our supporters. They're trying to silence us. When you're trying to drown out other people's thoughts, I don't think there's anything progressive about that. Not me. Why don't these people just engage?" What do you mean, these people? Tario, a Cuban American, is also the leader of the grassroots group Latinos for Trump. The Anti-Defamation League calls the Proud Boys' ideology Islamophobic, transphobic, and anti-immigrant. Well, Jesus. Given the recent environment of the United States of America, and the presidential election coming up soon, and the fact that Trump had coronavirus, I don't think this is the time for more bickering and arguing. Back to you, James. But anyway, that's our show for tonight. As always, if you liked what you watched here today, subscribe, share, like, all that blah blah rhetoric. And there's always more videos over here to check out. And please, do the same thing for them. Because after all, it's almost Thanksgiving. Love you guys. Bye-bye.